Hello friends, welcome to my channel InfoCraze. Today we will understand the basic concepts of Union Budget of India. In the current year, as you may know, the Union Finance Minister will present the Interim Budget on 1st of February 2024. Thus, let's understand the basic differences between Union Budget and Interim Budget. I will share some interesting facts about Indian Budget which will be very insightful for you. So please be with me till the end of this video. I am sure this video will be quite informative, and if you like the same, please do subscribe to my channel for getting instant notification for my upcoming videos. Now let's get started. First, let us understand what is Union Budget. The Union Budget is an annual financial statement presented by the Finance Minister of India in Parliament, which outlines the government's estimated revenue and expenditure for the upcoming fiscal year. It typically consists of two parts: revenue budget and capital budget. Now let us also see what is interim budget. An interim budget is a temporary financial plan presented by the government when it is in its last year of office, ahead of general elections. It is meant to address the essential expenditures and keep the government functioning until the new government can present a comprehensive budget for the entire fiscal year. So as you can see, the interim budget is for a short period of time before the general elections. In order to have more knowledge about both the type of budgets, let us first see the differences between Union Budget and Interim Budget. To start with, let us see the requirement. The Union Budget is a constitutional requirement and it is presented annually by the Finance Minister in the Parliament. Whereas the presentation of an interim budget is not mandatory. It depends on specific circumstances around the general elections. Let's look into the timing and duration. Union Budget is presented once a year, typically in February, which covers the government's financial plans for the upcoming fiscal year from 1st April to 31st of March. Whereas the interim budget is presented before the general elections for a duration of approximately 2 to 4 months until the new government is formed and a full budget is presented. Let us see the policy changes. Union Budget allows for the introduction of new policies, changes in tax rates, and major economic announcements. Whereas the interim budget typically focuses on essential expenditures which are required for the functioning of the government during the transitional period, and major policy decisions are usually avoided. So it is quite clear that before the elections, as the government has a very small period of time to function, this particular type of budget, that is the interim budget, is presented just for the sake of managing the essential expenditures. Now let us see the nature of announcements. Union Budget is quite comprehensive, as mentioned earlier also, and includes detailed allocations for various sectors, policy measures and economic projections. On the other side, Interim Budget focuses on essential government operations, ongoing projects and necessary expenditures. It usually avoids major policy changes and may not introduce significant new initiatives. Let us look into the presentation and approval process. Union Budget is presented by the Finance Minister in the Parliament, which needs to undergo several processes before being passed in both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and finally sent to the President for approval. As you know, that Union Budget is very comprehensive and it involves all the sectors, all kind of policies. So it has to undergo various processes before it is actually approved in both the houses and then by the President of India. Interim Budget is presented by the Finance Minister in the Lok Sabha, in which the government seeks a vote on account, which is basically an authorization for incurring specific expenditures necessary until a new government assumes office after the general elections. Hope you have understood till now what are the basic differences between Union Budget and Interim Budget. Now let us look into some interesting facts about Indian Budget. The first Union Budget of independent India was presented on 26 November 1947 by the then Finance Minister Mr. R.K. Shanmugham Chetty. Mr. Morarji Desai holds the record for presenting the maximum number of budgets. He presented a total of 10 budgets, followed by Mr. P. Chidambaram and Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, who presented 9 and 8 budgets respectively. Before the budget is presented, a unique tradition called Halwa ceremony takes place in the Finance Ministry. A sweet dish called Halwa is prepared and served at the venue where the budget is printed. So I hope you are liking all these interesting facts about the Indian budget. Now let us see some more facts. The date of budget presentation was shifted from the last day of February to the first day of February from the financial year 2017-18. Next, the Union Budget and the Railway Budget were presented separately until 2016, which were merged from the financial year 2017-18. I am sure many of you know this, that earlier the budget was presented on the last day of February, which was shifted to 1st of February. The next one, in India, zero-based budgeting was adopted by the Department of Science and Technology in 1983, which was later implemented by the Indian government in 1986 as a system of determining expenditure budget. And then the final one, the 7 priorities termed as Saptarishi was adopted in the Union Budget for financial year 23-24 to guide the country towards Amrit Kal. What are those Saptarishi? They are inclusive development, reaching the last mile. Third is infrastructure and investment. The next one, unleashing the potential. Then you have green growth, youth power, and financial sector. So all these have been termed under the Saptarishi. Hope you have now a fair idea about the differences between an Union Budget and an interim budget. In case this information was useful, do like my video and also subscribe to my channel for getting instant notification whenever any new video is uploaded. Thanks a lot.